in the morning. So it's kind of weird to be here on an evening, but there I am, just checking.
5's in the morning.
Yep.
So it's kind of weird.
I have sound. Excellent. So before I share my little story, I have a story that I shared with my list of subscribers. If you're not on the list, you will be when you register for this webinar. It's win. Don't forget that part. learnwithjenny.com/webinar. Register in the next hour. I would say actually in the next 45 minutes because you want to have time to get your Zoom link and get in the room with us. So I wanted to share this morning, but all kinds of technology went awry this morning. And it must be something in the air because it happened all day long. My video didn't record, which I thought was an awesome video. And later on, I was working on stuff at my job, and it was like everything was a struggle today. Does that ever happen to you with technology? Imagine that. It even happens to people who are tech geeks and, know how to run stuff. I mean, they say, of course, because we program them, right? We program these things, and the computer does what you tell it to do, right? But sometimes things happen, and sometimes you got to figure out a way around it, right? Well, I'm really good at figuring out ways around things, but today was kind of a struggle, which is why I'm live right now to tell you the story that I tried to tell you this morning. So here's what I wrote in my list. I asked my list, I said, listen, when I was growing up, we didn't have GPSs. We didn't have phones, cell phones. We had phones. We had phones with big, long wires on them and the twirly phone like this here. We had it on the wall. And you'd stretch the phone all the way around the corner, stretch that cord so that you could get some privacy. And sorry, I dropped my glasses. And we also had a party line. We had a party line. So if you picked up the line and somebody was talking, that means your neighbors were using the phone line. So you'd hang up and wait your turn to use the phone line. So it was totally different back then. There was no internet. You didn't Google your destinations. Nobody mapped them out for you. So my mom and dad would sit at the dining room table with maps spread out all over the table, and they would plan their route. They would have, in particular, this trip that I talked about in my newsletter was a trip all the way around Lake Superior. And it was almost 3,000 miles to go all the way around. So it would take a week at least. I think we went for 2 weeks, but we planned stops, where we were going to camp. My mom planned all the meals, and we planned our trip, right? So my mom, being the co-driver, the co-captain, you want to call her, in the passenger seat, would watch for the signs and help my dad find the exits where he needed to turn on different highways and different roads to get where we wanted to go. One particular place I remember was Thunder Bay. It was absolutely gorgeous. That was up in Canada. You didn't have to have passports. You just drove up there and drove all the way around. And they had their plan after they poured over maps of Canada and Michigan. Planned out. They had it highlighted on the maps. My brother and I, when we got bored, would look for mile markers and figure out where we were. So the whole analogy to this story was whether you have a map for your business. Because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, if you don't know where you're going, how do you get there? I heard Earl Nightingale tell a story, about he tells a story about a ship that sets sail across we'll use Lake Superior because that's the lake I'm using on my story. It's a very big lake. I mean, it's huge. But the a destination in mind. So, if you come up with a plan for your business, why not follow a plan that's already been done? And I want you to come to this webinar tonight because my mentor, she's been in the business for 23. Well, no, I'm the one that's been in IT for 23 years. Sorry, wrong number. 20 some years. She's been there. She's done that. She knows she's had it happen in her career where she describes it as when lightning strikes. And that's why I said, "Are you feeling lucky?" Because lightning strikes in here, right? You don't know where it'll strike or when. You don't know when that opportunity is sitting right in front of your eyes and you're about ready to take off. Your home business is just going to explode at that moment. She knows when to recognize the signs, and she's going to tell you how to look for the signs tonight in an hour. So that's it. That's the story I tried to share this morning when everything kind of exploded. So that was it. I probably did a better version of writing it in my newsletter, but sign up. I'll see you there in the chat. And if you have any questions, ask me. That's what I do. I help you out. I'll see you there. Oh, I clicked stop. I was clicking over here to see. I thought I clicked stop streaming and it's still going. Try it again. Technology is killing me today, man. Holy man. And it's still. I wonder if I'm even still live. I'm trying to leave. You don't want me to leave? Oh, no. Oh my gosh, I went back in here and it's still live. This is crazy.